What's going on, guys? What's going on? So today I'm just gonna do a little playing around and see. Yeah, just welcome back to Main City. So I'm playing a game action. All right, so let's do this right now. Stygian Storm is the one that's making the least. So we're gonna go there, and I like to do it. I like to do one click at a time, as you guys know, especially because I'm able to see a balance, right? So right now, it went to another region that's making more. But let's keep an eye right now. All right, let's go. Right now, we're making 31, 35 BC. Sapphire, it's making more. 3205 Sapphire. All right, here it is. We're making 3203, so we're gonna upgrade now. What I also do is I check to see how much it's gonna cost me to do the next level up. So this one is 554.60 BC. The cheapest one is gonna be probably this one, right? 62 BC, because we're at a lower level, 304, right? So before I go into the region, I want to see which one is what am I gonna get more clicks for, right? So I want to do it just a few, just to see. See, it switched to another region that's making less overall, but it has more bonus. That's why the income is a lot higher, right? So it's the block nexus. So let's go there just so that you guys can see it real quick. All right. Now we're not gonna be chasing the dot, like the red dot. Papa said, and that's great advice from Papa Bigfoot. You don't want to be chasing the dot around. You just want to find a good balance between your lands to see which one is making the most and use that as your gainer, right? So let's just go. It's gonna go from 43 to 32. All right. So let's go see which one's making 32. Sapphire. 32. All right. So 43. All right. So 43 is making more, which is gonna be the block nexus. So 43 is making more than this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep upgrading this one so that I don't jump, so that I don't get back into this one so right away, right? So I'm gonna keep upgrading, maybe to like 400, so that I don't have to come back to this region again, because I know that the block nexus is making more than this region. So I want to make sure that I don't jump back into this one because it's making less. So I'm gonna upgrade it more so that it's making more than the other ones, and it just doesn't bring me back to this one. All right. So it'll make sense hopefully as we play along. So let's bring this up to 371, and let's see. Now the sapphire is making 1280, which is this land that I'm on, but the block is giving us more income. So that's why I want to give a more stretch between this one and the blocked. That way I can upgrade the blocked, and that way I know that I don't want to jump back into this one so fast. So we're at 12 on this one, all right. So I'll keep bouncing around to other lands, but at least not into that one, because again it's making less. All right. So again, this one's gonna cost me 249 BC for one click on this one. And this one is 170. We're at 355 here, 351, 351, 351. So I'm gonna go and upgrade them up to 400 probably. All right, but I'm gonna check to see when I make this not the lowest income. Let me see. So we're at 42, the overall income right now, right under my name, DJ Oracle, is 4260. So now another land is making more than this one. That is the Stygian. So I want to make sure that I don't jump back right into this one again right away, because the Stygian is making more income than this one. So I'm gonna I want to make a bigger gap between this one between the blocked and the Stygian so that I don't jump right back into this one. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I go to Stygian, right? If I upgrade it and make it my lowest earner, see, this one's gonna cost me 288 BC for one click, and this one is 21 BC. So I'm gonna use this one, and watch it. It's gonna go from 59.48 to 42 back. Why? Because this one has more bonus. This one has a 469 on this bank, right? So I don't want to keep jumping back and forth. So I'm gonna leave a bigger a bigger gap between the Stygian and the block Nexus. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the block Nexus, and I'm gonna keep upgrading this one, even though it's not gonna give me a low. Actually, because it's not gonna give me a lower income. I don't want to go back onto this one, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna upgrade these ones up to 400. Let's go. And that way I'll make sure that I don't jump back into this one right away. Because if I jump back into this one, I'm gonna start making less of an income. Because the other one has a better bonus. Even though the income is lower, the bonus is better. Even though the base, we're talking about the base income, right? The base income is lower, but the bonus is a lot better. So we're gonna again make a bigger gap between this one. Dun, dun, dun. We're gonna bring them all to 400. Dun, dun, dun. Now that I know that I don't want to go back into this one right away, and then also it helps to just keep upgrading, right? Prestiging up. There you go, 401, and I like to leave it at a 1, so that I can know how much it's gonna cost me for the next click. And I just like to be symmetric, so that's why I make them all at 401. I just want to be like have some sort of consistency. All right. So right now we're upgrading these ones to create a bigger gap, because if I jump back into this one, we're gonna make less of an income. So we're trying to make sure that 59, it's the income that we're protecting, which is the income from the Stygian. So right now the Stygian is the big earner because of the bonus. So let's put this one up to 401. So if this is helpful, as always, go ahead and like the video, leave a comment, let me know if your strategy is different, if you think I'm doing, no, not 402, I have to go and make everybody 402. Sorry guys. 402, 402, and 402. Okay, now I can breathe. All right, so now the blocked, we're at 12.28, so we're unlikely to jump back into this one. So let's go to Lucent. I'm sorry, to the Stygian. I think that's the one that it's giving the bonus right now. Yes. So right now we're at 1149. So it's gonna jump to the Aurora Wilds because it's at the same income, right? 11.49. Now, when it jumps into that one, I want to find out which one of the two lands has the most bonus. All right. So let's see when it jumps right now. It's 59.57. 55. So 59. So this one has a better bonus. So I'm gonna go now to the Aurora. I'm gonna go to the Aurora. And 3.42 BD. The other one's a lot cheaper because uh, we're almost at prestige. So even though these ones are more expensive, I'm gonna use a few clicks just because I want to bring it up to prestige. But you know what? No, for BD, I'm wasting my diamonds, my gold here. So here, let's go back to this one, just because I want to make sure that I'm able to make more. There you go. Now we're up to 60, and 60 is at Stygian. You're right. So I want to make a bigger gap between this one. I should have, instead of clicking that treehouse, I should have used it here on the museum. I just wanted to kind of like, I got a little anxious about just bringing it up to 177. But that's all right. We can still make a bigger gap with this one. So let's just make a good gap to make sure that we don't jump back into this one right away again, because we're trying to protect the income that has the most bonus right now. All right, we're at 401. So now this land, which is the Aurora Wilds, is making 12.74. So right now the lower ones are the Stygian and the Lucent. So we gotta find out which one of those has a better income for us to protect. So let's go to Stygian. And it's gonna jump from this one, from the income, which is 60.04, to the next one that's the lowest one, to Lucent. So when we go to Lucent, let's find out how much that one is making. So, and because this one is the lowest, it help us to increase the income, right? 61.77, and now I went to 30. So we definitely want to protect the income here. So we're gonna go to Lucent. See, this Lucent is making, even though the base income is the same, this one is making more because the bonus in the business is a lot higher. 469, 469, and the Lucent is which is our bigger business here in the Lucent. See, 279 of the bonus. So see, 84. So even though the base income it's lower, the bonus is not. So let's see, what do we have here? Every click is, this one is 234. We're at level 371, and they all should be at the same level. Yeah, so that's why I like to keep them at the same level so that I know what's gonna cost me. So it's gonna be 234 or 457 BC. So let's bring these guys a little bit higher. So when we're making more than the other one, it should be jumping back up. There you go, to 62. So that's the income that we're gonna protect. We're gonna protect the 62 from the Stygian. So now we have to make a bigger gap. You see how the other ones, the Crimson is 18. So I got a lot of room to grow on the Stygian, which is making, it's my land, my region that is making the most gold right now. So everything else, I want to be able to have room to grow on that land. So that's why I want to increase the income on this one so that it doesn't jump back to this one so often, not so fast. So we're gonna bring this up to 391. And this is where I could have used that other income from that treehouse that I moved, that I clicked on. See, now I'm not gonna be able to make it to 391, but I'm still making a gap, a big gap. So I don't want to jump back into the Stygian just yet because I don't want to overdo the gap and then go back to like 30. All right, so I hope it's making sense right now, guys. Let's see what we got going on here. Abilities. So in the meantime, while we collect some more gold from here, actually what we can even do, we can put a booster since that's the land that we're gonna be protecting for a while, the Stygian. I can even go ahead and activate a booster here because this is the region that I'm gonna be protecting for a while. So Yeah, why not? Let's spend 20 million diamonds on this 300 because I'm gonna be protecting it for at least 2 hours. For the next 2 hours, all right? So let's buy it and let's activate. And we're gonna go to 93. So we definitely want to make sure that this is our land that we're protecting. All right, guys. So in the meantime, while we collect some more gold to increase the gap between the lucent, right? I want to increase the gap so that I don't jump back into here so fast. So I want to make sure that the ones that are closer to it, which is the lucent at 1209 and then 1228 blocked, I want to increase those to make a bigger gap. So now I don't have to keep chasing that red dot like Papa was saying. All I have to do is protect the income from Stygian. So I can work on anything else. Of course, I don't want to work on the Crimson because that one has a big enough gap. So I'm good there. I wouldn't want to work on the Molten because we're at 14. So we have a good gap right there. The next one would be the Sapphire at 12.80. Then it's the Aurora at 12.74. So we want to work on the Lucent and the Blocked for the next 2 hours. Make sure that those, we create a big gap, right? The Stygian is going to be the one that's going to have, that's the income that we're trying to protect for now. So we are ready for some attacks. Let's see if anybody in the leaderboard that is next to us can take. I think I attacked this guy earlier. So we're gonna go for in fire for Crow. We'll be going back and forth anyways for a little bit. So let's go to tools. Let's go to unequip all weapons. Equip all abilities. Do we have enough? Yes, we do. I'm not gonna use the aerial because I've used it 3 times already and I've got bad rolls. So I'm gonna take it as today's not my day. There's some days that all my rolls are really good. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna do it just because there's a video going on. All right. So let's go ahead and buy it. Cause see, it's 6.99. So let's say 7 million. So my attack has to land where it's better than 7 million to make sure that it's worth it. So let's see if it is gonna be worth it today, right? It has to be more than 7 million. Let's go on the 20s, on the 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. Is it more than 7 million? Come on. All right, so it is 9.22 million. So it was profitable this time. All right, now let's go to the Savannah. Let's make sure we get a good hit right here. 91. Not bad, not bad. And last but not least, the malware. And good hit, 275. 275 out of 282, so that's on the upper side. At the moment, I'm not using the Velo Venom or the Kingpin's Wrath, so I'm not investing on those for now. So again, always, every time we do the unequip all, we want to always make sure that we go to our weapons, unequip them, go to the tools, equip all. And now, look, we went from 90 to 118. So again, that's from the Stygian. We want to make sure that we don't upgrade anything there just yet. We have to create a bigger gap. So let's go to the Lucent and see if we have what kind of gold we have on the Lucent so that we can make a bigger gap in the Lucent. All right. Now again, let's see what the costs are. Okay, we're 391. I think we have to work on to make them 391. So 391. $391. 391. All right, so let's check out the gaps. Lucent is now at 1228 and 1228, same as the block nexus. So let's go to the block nexus and see what kind of businesses we have going on there, how much it's going to cost us to upgrade. I think my main two businesses on here are four. So let's see how much it's going to cost for my Pride Records. Is going to be 249 BC. And whoa, we're at 402 on my Leos. So it's 446 BC. So we're definitely going to use the Pride Records. And it's good that it's quality 8. So it give us, the spread is between 1.37 and 24.81 BB. So we can hit anywhere on that range. So hopefully it'll be on the upper, right? So let's take this to 421 and see how big of the gap it is. Block, we're at 1240. Let's move up a little higher. Let's try to, especially because for this price, we create good gaps. So let's move up to 431. All right, so now we are at block nexus 12.57. So let's go to the Lucent. And we're doing that so that we can have a little bit of room so we can upgrade the Stygian without making it go lower than other ones, because otherwise and I just upgraded this one, so I have a lot of room to grow on this one because it's 2 BC. I just upgraded this one from one, I prestiged up, so we're not even at BD. I think the other ones were at BD, right? Let's see. BC, but 354 BC. This one's 2 BC. So let's bring this up to maybe 250 so we can create a really good gap for us to grow on the Stygian. And as I upgrade the other one, I hope it starts making sense little by little, right? Let's bring this up to 251 and let's see how much of a gap we've created. Okay, Lucent, we're at 1252. All right, so let's go to the Stygian, which is the one that's earning us the most gold right now. And then that way we can increase that income. But again, let's do little by little, because as soon as we jump into another one, we're gonna start making less. Check it out. So right now we're growing. So we have enough room to go because we've created that gap, right? Oh my God, so now it went to 35 to the Lucent, you see? So we've got into the gap really, really fast. So we wanna make a bigger gap on the Lucent. All right. So for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna click on the 10 so that we're not here all night, but you see what I mean, right? We wanna create a big gap. Let's go to 321. Let's see how big of a gap we have. So we see we're still we're protecting the Stygian income. All right, it's still not that much of a gap, especially because that bank is really making us out of bank. No pun intended, or I guess maybe it was intended. So let's see. Here, let's bring this to 401. $401. It's costing us 176 BC for upgrading each one. This one's 457, 176, 354. So let's just still go ahead and go on this one because it's a quality 6. That way we can make a bigger gap because we're running up on the gap really fast. So we want to see how the Crimson is 18. So we're not going to get past that one so fast. So let's try to put this Lucent maybe on the 14s so that we can have more room to click on the Stygian. So let's go to the LS Sports. Let's bring this to 451. Let's see what kind of a gap we have there now. 251. We are at 13, but still we get to it really fast. But the next one to jump, it would be the block nexus. So we want to increase those gaps. Let's go here. Let's create a bigger gap. Let's go to 471. 471. What are we at? 13.65. So let's go to the block nexus and increase that gap. What do we have here? 446. Oh, but this one's a quality 8. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this one so we can do a bigger gap. Let's bring it to 451. Let's see how big of a gap that is. We're still at 1281. It's not that big of a gap. Yeah, we're gonna pass it right away. We're gonna catch up to it right away. We don't want to catch up to it. Okay, let's go to 481. We're good on the gold. See, we're almost ran out of gold, but we created a pretty good gap, right? Block, we're at 13. Next one is the sapphire. Let's try to see if we can bring the sapphire to 13. That way we can run the Stygian up to 13 and still maintain that income. Actually, the Aurora Wilds, it's the one that's the lowest. So let's go see the Aurora Wilds. Let's see how expensive it would be. This is where we were trying to increase. That's 4 BD. See, and this is, I'm gonna tell you guys one. Okay, let's see how much of a difference it's gonna make, right? Stygian, let's go and see. Let's click on the Stygian. And again, we're gonna do one click at a time because this one's bringing power. 124.55, 125.55, 126, 126, and 84. So you jump to 84. It's probably gonna be the Aurora Wilds, yeah. So this is why we're trying to protect the income of the Stygian, right? So let's go. There he goes. So see, we want to make sure that we don't pass into this one. And I hope it's kind of making sense, guys. This is how we're protecting the income. We don't want to chase the red dot. We want to protect the highest income. So in order to protect the highest income, we need to create gaps between the highest income, this highest earning income land region, and the other ones. So again, we have a really good gap between the Crimson and the Stygian. We want to close the gaps right now on the Sapphire, which is this one, so that we can have a lot more room to run. What do we have here? These are the attacks that we landed. Let's try our luck. and see if we can get some gold from the daily roar, so that we can keep upgrading that museum. Alright, 76 BD. So let's go and put that into the museum. So we're gonna spend all this gold here so we can create that gap that we need. All of it. Boom, 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 boom. All of it, all of it, all of it. Well, let's not get too wild. Let's see the other visions. Let's go to 441. We're at 371D. How much is this one costing us? 4. So, and then this one's still at 76, prestige 76. This one's 77. So once we get this one upgraded to 76, it's gonna be a lot cheaper to. It'll be easier to keep that gap. So Aurora, we are 1358. If we upgrade right now, Sapphire is the one that. Oh, actually, this is Sapphire, huh? So, oh no, this is Aurora. Let's go to the Sapphire, see what's going on with the Sapphire. See if we can create a bigger gap in the Sapphire. Again, we're trying to protect the income of the Stygian. 1280. What can we afford here? 554 BC. 261 BC. So I guess we're gonna do. Yeah, let's do these clicks right here on the Cena, on the Felix, Cineplex. So let's bring this up to 391. We still have gold. Let's bring it up to 401. 401. Sapphires at 13. Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of room to go on the Stygian, so we can do a few clicks on the Stygian, which is our money maker right now. So I hope it starts making more sense. So why we're protecting this income? 128, 129, 129, 130, 131, 49. So which one did we catch up to? The block Nexius. All right, guys. So this is what we're protecting the income. So you don't really want to, really chase the dot. That's why we're trying to create big gaps in between these incomes. 446, 1BD. So let's bring this up to, well, at least let's try to go back into the, there we go. So at least we're back into the 131 because the Stygian is now our lowest. So we want to create these gaps. All right, guys. So that's a little quick video just on how to protect your highest earner. You just want to, right now our highest Stygian. So that's how you protect your highest income. So you don't have to try to keep going back and forth. Just try to put big gaps in between your the regions that have the highest bonuses, because it really comes down to the bonus, right? Because the base income, it's lower, but the bonus is what's making it higher. Between the boost, between the attacks that we've sent, that's why that bank is making bank right now. That's why the bank, see right now, it's at 998%. That's why this is making so much. So we're trying to protect this guy right here. All right, guys. And we'll be sending more attacks in 11 minutes. All right, guys. So yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to give a little more for people that are struggling. I hope this video helps. Again, go ahead and like the video, subscribe. Let me know if you have a different strategy. Let me know if this helped. Yeah. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Late.